You've clicked it 1,000 times, right? Log in with Google. It's so fast, so easy. But have you ever actually stopped to think about what's happening behind that click? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on OAuth, the invisible tech that pretty much runs our digital lives. So you know the feeling. You find some cool new app, you're all hyped to check it out, and then, bam, you hit the sign up page. Create a username, create a password you'll forget in 5 seconds. It's that exact moment where all your excitement just kind of deflates with a sigh.
And look, that sigh, it isn't just you being lazy. It's a real thing. It's called password fatigue. And for businesses, it's an absolute growth killer. It's also a huge security nightmare because what do we do when we're tired? We just reuse the same old password everywhere. For a new company, that one little moment of hesitation is the biggest wall they need you to climb.
All right, so let's really dig in here. Why is one little password field such a massive, massive problem? And how does it literally sabotage a company's chance of ever winning you over? This right here is the heart of the problem, what they call user onboarding. Every extra box you have to fill out, every single click, is another chance for you to just say, nah, forget it, and close the tab. We are all so tired of managing a million different logins. And yeah, even if you use a password manager, that initial gut reaction of, another account is usually enough to make people walk away for good. So how do you solve this giant problem? Well, that brings us to this really elegant solution that completely changed the game. Think of it like a smarter, way more secure digital handshake. And it's called OAuth, or Open Authorization. Now, the key phrase you got to remember here is limited access. You are giving an app permission to poke around your other account, but, and this is the absolute magic of it, you're doing it without ever sharing your password. Let me say that again. The new app never ever sees your Google password. Not once. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you're starting a new job and they want to verify your work history. Instead of you digging up old papers, you just say, hey, why don't you just ask my last boss? They can tell you I worked there. You're authorizing them to vouch for you, but only for that specific info. OAuth works the exact same way. You're not handing over the keys to your house. You're just delegating a little bit of trust.
And the result for you is just so incredibly smooth. Let's walk through it real quick. 1, you hit that beautiful Login with Google button. 2, the app basically asks Google for permission. 3, you get sent to a Google page, you see what the app wants, and you click Allow. 4, Google sends a secret token back to the app that says, yep, they're legit. And 5, you're in. All that sign-up friction, it's just gone.
So, okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Well, let's dive into a quick story about a startup called Interview Ready, because this really shows you just how powerful this can be. So, before they had OAuth, Interview Ready was stuck with that classic problem. They were getting people to their site, people were interested, but then they'd hit the sign-up page and just vanish. The drop-off was huge, especially on phones. I mean, who wants to type a complicated password on a tiny keyboard? They were losing customers right at the finish line. Then, on March 15th, 2022, they flipped the switch and turned on OAuth. And just look at this. Their daily signups were bumping along at about 50 a day. The very next day, it shot up to over 100. This wasn't a gradual thing. It was like night and day. I mean, this just perfectly illustrates the business case, doesn't it? They literally doubled their daily signups overnight. And it wasn't just a one-day fluke. Their new normal baseline was consistently higher. This one single change completely altered their path to success, simply by making it easier for people to say yes. But of course, no tech is a magic bullet, right? There are always trade-offs. So let's take a really balanced look at the pros and cons here. First for the businesses, and then for us, the users. For businesses, the pros are really compelling. You get to outsource all the messy, expensive, and frankly, terrifying work of security to giants like Google. It's a huge weight off their shoulders. But the cons are all about a loss of control. If Google goes down for an hour, your signups go down for an hour. You're playing in their sandbox, and they can change the rules or even kick you out at any time. Okay, now for us. The pros are all about convenience. No new passwords, way faster logins, and it's actually more secure because the app itself doesn't have your password to lose in a data breach. But here's the price for that convenience: your data. Google now knows every single app and service you use. And there's a huge single point of failure. If you ever get locked out of your main Google account, you could lose access to everything. So when you weigh all that, we have to ask the big question. Is the trade-off worth it? What's the final verdict here? When you really boil it down, this is the fundamental choice that businesses are making. They are trading control and independence for the massive, massive upside of getting more users in the door with way less friction. It's a strategic bet on convenience over autonomy. And for the vast majority of companies out there, especially startups, that bet pays off big time. The immediate benefit of getting people to actually sign up is so valuable that it makes those risks of depending on a big platform a calculated and usually very profitable cost of doing business. For them, it is absolutely a net positive. But this leaves all of us with a really fascinating and honestly important question. As we rely more and more on these single master keys for all of our digital doors, we really have to consider who's truly in control. When one company holds the key to everything, does that mean they also own all the locks? It's something to think about next time you go to click that Login with Google button. Thanks for joining this explainer.